Welcome to Beyond the Velvet Rope with Neal Oates Jr., the podcast that takes you on an extraordinary journey into the world of luxury service. Join us as we unlock the secrets, stories, and strategies behind exceptional experiences. From anticipating VIP needs to crafting unforgettable memories, we'll guide you on a path to service excellence in the realm of the affluent. Let's elevate your expertise and redefine the art of world-renowned service. Here's your host, Neal Oates Jr.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Beyond the Velvet Rope. I am Neal Oates Jr., your host, and we have a very special guest with us today, Banna Fakhoury, a friend of mine. First, it is an honor to have you here with us. I don't take it lightly. And the reason being, I know you are a busy lady, a productive lady, taking over the world. So I don't take this lightly. But welcome. And Banna, go ahead and tell people, who is Banna Fakhoury?
Well, thank you for having me. Number one, it's always a pleasure to connect with you. I'm very excited to be on here. A little bit about me, I guess. I am Banna Fakhoury. Raised here in Miami my entire life. I was born in California, but I came to Miami when I was 2 years old. So I really grew up here, watched the entire evolution of South Florida. I was raised in West Kendall, made my way out east, got into real estate when I was about in 2012. And so I'm going on to my 13th year in the business now. I market myself as a luxury and new development sales expert, a global real estate advisor with One Sotheby's International Realty. And I'm also a marketer. I also own the Miami Guide. I co-own it with my amazing business partner. And that is, we aim to be Miami's #1 publication. On Instagram, we have almost 500,000 followers. Our database and our reach is absolutely insane. It's a very for Miami, by Miami community. It's a very hyper local account. So it all ties in really, really seamlessly. My real estate business with my marketing business. And marketing is my other passion in life. So it works really well.
Okay, so Banna, you said a lot there. What you did not say are things that I'm going to help your memory with, okay? So you mentioned real estate agent, co-owner of the Miami Guide. You did not mention the accolades that you have received. And I don't expect you to do that because for you, I know you're like, Neal, that's already in the past, but you have been Realtor of the Year for different organizations. You are a consistent top seller within any organization that you belong. We know that you are speaking and moderating not only here in the US for company events with your brokerage and the brand, but also outside of the country, moderating mega international property shows in what some might see as the pinnacle, the peak in Dubai. So you mentioned born in California, in Florida now, but now you are everywhere. Where does the idea come from for Banna from Kendall to go into this worldwide business owner, leader, speaker, change agent?
It's nice. When you say all those accolades, like you forget what you do, the bar keeps raising and you just keep forgetting everything you do. So it's really nice to be reminded, like, damn, I really did do all that.
And we'd be like, man, I am her. Come on, I'm a bad woman.
So great question. So I think it all comes from my roots. I'm a first generation American, first generation immigrant. My mother and father, my mother's from Ecuador. My father's from Jordan. They left their countries in the, late 80s, early 90s, flew out to California. They met in a diner, fell in love, then came me. And so I think having these two very different worlds collide and then bringing me to Miami, which is its own melting pot, right? Then I joined a luxury global brokerage, One Sotheby's. Sotheby's is such a true luxury global brokerage. And so now it's like from Miami to the world, right? The referral network, I'm seeing opportunities. I'm seeing Miami in the last 4 years has really grown into such a massive planet of its own, right? This influx of buyers, South America, Europe, the Eastern Hemisphere, Canada. And so now it's more like, okay, you want to sell in Canada, you want to sell in Brazil, I can help you. I can help you do all those things. So I'm quickly leveraging all my partnerships and relationships on a global scale now, right? Dubai, Miami, we have nonstop flights now. Turkey, Miami, we have nonstop flights now. And so I'm really trying to leverage those into marketing, from Miami to the world.
So I do have a question because you're doing a fantastic job giving accolades to everyone. Once again, I know you, so I expect nothing less. Talking about the brand and the power of One Sotheby's, talking about your parents. But there has to be something in Banna to say, I want to be different. I want to be special. I want to be bigger than I might supposed to be, having immigrant parents, bigger than I'm supposed to be being a woman, bigger than I'm supposed to be being a first generation realtor or American citizen, right? So with that, is there a drive that comes with that, knowing that it's not going to be handed to you? Because I know some people might hear, well, of course she's going to be successful with a brand backing her like One Sotheby's International Realty, when the reality is there are thousands of agents under that umbrella who are not experiencing the same success. So what would you equate, maybe a handful of things that you might equate just the success you've had in real estate to?
Great questions again. I've gotten this question before as what's your why, right? What's the real reason behind it all? Number one, I think I had no other option. I had no choice but to make it. You know, growing up, I started working when I was 14 years old, so my work ethic has been there since I was 14. I was a cashier at Publix, then I was a marketing intern, then I helped open up a sports bar, then I was another marketing intern, and then real estate happened, and from there I was like, okay. And this was in 2012, where we didn't have all these resources that we have now, right? Leads get handed to you on a platter now. You walk into a restaurant, you see three buyers, right? There wasn't like that back in the day. So I feel old Miami and me being on my own financially for a very long time has really pushed me forward, you know, and I also feel that success is my duty. And my parents did the hard job, right, of getting me to America. Now it's like, all right, Banna, onward. And now I say the other part of all of this is my faith. I do think that my faith has made me feel limitless. 2020, 2021 were life-changing years. You know, I got out of survival mode, then I got into thriving mode, and then I got into new devils, new levels, new devils. And so now I truly, truly feel I'm limitless. So one year was 20 million in volume, then it became 30 million, then it became 40, then it became 50, now it's 100, now it's so there's just so much that we can do, and I'm seeing the opportunities, and I'm seeing that there's no ceiling here, and now we're coming for it all, right, in every possible way.
So you mentioned, I love this because you mentioned in 2020 and then 21, those are transformative times for you. And you said that you're out of survival mode, but you've mentioned that you've been in the industry since 2012. So I know that when we look at Banna from the outside, we look at someone who not only has her act together, but it looks as if she's always had it together and there was never a survival mode. Right. So how do you communicate, or what do you communicate to the audience who are looking at Banna and saying, man, she's Miss Miami, she's Miss Global, she's Miss Luxury, she has this life that I dream of. I don't really understand what she means when she says it went from surviving to thriving. What did that survival mode look like for you?
It takes, you know, what do they say? It takes outliers, right? Malcolm, he said it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. It takes 10 years to become an expert, 10 years to become an overnight success, or 10,000 hours. And so 2020, 2021, I reached like my 10th year in the business. And what does survival mode look like? I mean, first year in real estate, I think I sold one house after 4 months, 6 months. And then I didn't sell another house for another like 6 months. And then I was doing rentals for $1,000 a month. And then I was doing another rental for $1,000 a month. So it was really, really, really trying to make it. It was the cold calling. It was the door knocking. It was the emails. It was the events. It was the business cards. It was true survival mode. It was one check to last me months, right? It was real survival mode. It was, let me think about how I wanna have lunch today and have dinner today, and how I'm gonna pay my rent, and how I'm gonna, definitely survival mode. And then a part of me was just, you know what? I think and I know that if I just stay the course, it will pay off, right? So on my Instagram account, I'm always reposting from 10 years ago because I couldn't believe how little Banna just worked so hard. I was posting all these pre-construction projects. Meanwhile, I've never even seen more than $5,000 in my bank account. I didn't grow up even seeing that. I didn't grow up with all this money around me. So then you get a check for 10,000. Then you get a check. You're like, wow, wait a minute, this is really, really possible. Now it's like, okay, now we can
Real,
really
I
do
didn't
it.
know this was possible.
Right. I'm like, this is really possible now. And so every year it just kept compounding, right? 1% better every year. And I was constantly posting of all these projects. And after a while, 10 years later, you know what? Now we're selling those now, idols to rivals, right? So I think staying the course has really helped me and not losing faith, because there were years where I'm like, am I really going to keep doing this? This is hard. This is so hard. That's one thing that I think people don't realize in real estate, how hard it is. The last 3-4 years we're not really real life, as I like to say. That was, it was a very opportune time. And if you were in the right place at the right time, it was very easy to make a sale. But real estate's not easy.
Okay, so I know that you're killing it in real estate, but as you become better, as you get a greater foothold on different segments of business, new opportunities come about, right? And so I have loved watching you go from real estate professional to now industry leader and thought leader in different areas and avenues of it. And so when I'm seeing you on panels and moderating, I'm a colleague, but I'm also a fan. And so when I see that, for instance, I know that in 2024 at the 19th annual symposium talking about construction, litigation, insurance, commercial investments, I'm seeing you on the platform, on the panel, but there aren't a lot of ladies on these panels with you. So I'm looking at the numbers, right? 3 ladies out of maybe 10 or 12 panelists and participants. But I know, and we know, that 64% of realtors are women. Okay. So what does it mean to you to be in that position, not only where you're a top seller, but now you're a contributing and powerful voice for women in real estate?
It's really nice. I have always said that I don't mind living in a man's world as long as I can be a woman in it. And I think there's a polarity there, right? The male, the female, the feminine, the masculine, and there's so much that we as women can contribute. Now I'm entering rooms where seller, buyer, buyer's agent, everyone there is a man except me, but yet I'm the one that's most calm and can get this deal to the closing table. And so I think that deal making, not having your emotions so involved, I can really elevate women in real estate. It can really take us to that next level because we're giving something that's not in the room right now, right? I think that's something special that we can provide. I also never really cared that I was a woman. I just walked in there like, I'm here to close a deal. We're here to make money. What can we do to close this together? And this is my knowledge because I've been selling this city for over 10, 12, 13 years now. I know the price per square foot. I know what the comps look like. I know what's going on in the neighborhood. I actually know all the neighbors. I know all the owners. So this is what I can provide. And these are the current luxury trends I'm seeing. These are all the things that I'm seeing that can help, seller make X, Y, and Z, help get buyer the best possible deal. And so I went in there really knowing who I am, right? My confidence, my sales back it up, my numbers are there. And once you kind of go in there as the package, they have no choice but to treat you like that.
Said 2 things. First, you mentioned this whole idea about selling Miami, right? Why? What is it about Miami? Because I get the sense, whether it is with your other brand or real estate, or even when I hear you have conversations, you love Miami. Why?
I love Miami. I really do. I love it.
You love, and so there are native Miamians that I don't know that they love it as much as you do. So much so that it is just not only a part of you, it is who you are. And that's where we come back and look at the Miami guide and everything you do. Where does that come from?
I do think a big part of it's growing up in the city. It's in my blood. It's in my DNA. It's who I am. It's the cafecito and the empanadas in the morning. It's the ventanitas of the bakery in the morning. It's 15 minutes getting to the beach. It's let's go right now on a boat for a sunset cruise. And now when COVID happened, it really it really assisted with real estate as well, this whole influx during COVID. So then it makes you kind of even appreciate the city more. You know, $1 million condo used to be kind of maybe a little bit difficult to sell back in the day. And now it's barely the average sale price, right? And I just see like, sometimes I look at these projects and I'm like, wow, we're really selling Mandarin Oriental and Brickell Key. We're really selling St. Regis, a 3-acre waterfront project in Brickell. You know, I'm in Coral Gables and we're selling new construction at 1,500 a square foot. So it's so crazy seeing these things and seeing the evolution. And I love the city. And you know what? When I travel outside the city, which I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, I come back and I say, wow, I can't wait to go back home. There's nothing like Miami. There really isn't. You can go far and wide all over the world and nothing is like Miami. Even with its cons, because you know our traffic is disgusting and there's certain things that we don't like, but we take the good with the bad.
So you mentioned also that when you go into rooms, you might be the only one in the room that looks like you or that is you for various number of reasons, right? It might be your age. You might be the youngest person in the room still, even after being in this thing for a dozen years. What is one of the misconceptions that first I want to start with Banna? What is one of the misconceptions that Banna had about working in the niche that she's in right now, working in that luxury niche, working with affluent clientele? What's something that Banna thought before she was in, and then when she got in, she was like, that's not true?
Right. How do I say this in a correct way? Sometimes we feel that on the outside looking in, that it's very hard to tap into that space, right? I'm not ready to tap into that space. I'm not on that level to tap into that space. And then you tap into that space and you say, wow, I'm actually overqualified. I'm actually doing systems and I'm doing things that these people haven't been doing for years. And meanwhile, I'm an expert at. You know, you realize that not only do you deserve to be in that room, but probably even in a higher room. I think Michelle Obama said that quote or something that the people in the room are not that smart. And I feel that kind of settles things. I think it kind of makes you feel like, wait a minute, like I actually do deserve to be here and I can do this really well, actually. So I do think that that was something to think about, is just because they're in that room doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be there, because you definitely do.
Remember when that switch clicked for you, when you finally looked around and said, okay, I'm in the right place? Was there a moment? Was there an event, an awakening, or have you just kind of grown into that feeling?
I feel like I've grown into that feeling. You know, my average sale price was at one point half a million. Then it became 1 million. Then it became, now it's around 3.5 million, right? That's kind of like my average sale price now. And then you start networking and you start closing deals with the other top 1% brokers in the city. And I have the listings and they're coming to me for the buyers and for the tenants. So little by little, I just think you kind of enter these rooms that God puts you in, that I put myself in, right? With God, I put myself into these rooms. So I think it's been evolving slowly into this position. And now, again, stakes are even higher. Now I'm like, okay, time to get into the $15-20 million room.
Okay, so you mentioned time to get into the $15 million rooms. I know that as you progress, you don't just throw away that experience, you don't throw away that knowledge. You're using that to build upon for future success. So let me ask you this. What do you think has been the greatest boon or greatest advantage asset to you in your journey up the ranks in your career so far?
A couple things. I think one, growing up in Miami. Miami. I think the environment, you're just full of hustlers. I think you kind of have to make it.
Are you a hustler?
Yeah, I do think I'm a hustler.
I think so too. I was just checking. I was
Really?
just making sure that of course, I look at you and I see hustler because you're going to get it. You're going to figure out how to get it done. So
Definitely.
I was just checking.
Nowadays, it's not making moves; it's making smart moves. Now it's chess pieces. Now it's strategy. Move this way to gain 10 years. I'm not trying to. I'm all about scaling now. I'm all about working less, working smarter type of vibe. So I think that my environment really help get me to this level. I also think I like to admit the Sotheby's brands kind of pushed me too. I do think that when you're a big fish in a small pond, it's yes, it's remarkable. Yes, it's congrats, it's a big deal, but you can only grow as big as your tank that you're in, right? And so then I got into Sotheby's and I'm like, whoa, okay, starting fresh, day one, let's go. And then I became top 30 in the company, my second 30 year in. And I'm like, okay, so now a big fish in a big pond, it kind of elevates you. And now you're working with these 100, 200, $1 billion producers. And it's very inspiring to be in that environment. Now people call me for referrals and calling me, can you help me sell this? Can you help my client sell this $8 million property? So once you get into that environment, it really does inspire you. So I think between myself, my years in this and in Miami, I think it's all playing together.
So talking about being the big fish in the small pond, going into a big pond and becoming a big fish, was there any hesitance? Was there any fear? And not necessarily in the pond itself, but because I know you've built relationships. I know you're a relational person, that you want to make sure that you're taking care of people, but then having to make smart business decisions as well. Did you have to deal with any of that as you transition over to One Sotheby's?
You know what? I have been recruited. I have been approached to be recruited about 2 years before I joined Sotheby's. And this is a me problem. It was a me issue that I felt like I almost wasn't ready. There was a part of me that's like, no, I'm not ready. No, I don't know. I was very comfortable. I was a sales director for a boutique agency and I was the sales director. So sales, leasing, and management went through me. So I had full control of the transaction, building unit, you name it. But every year I got capped. I'm like, okay, not salary, net income was X amount. Then the next year was also X amount. And then it was X amount again. And I said, okay, we need to grow here. What's going on here? So finally, I made the call to the recruiter, who's a very good friend of mine, Taylor. And I said, all right, let's sit down. I'm ready. Let's do this. And that's it. So 10 years of real estate with some kind of platform that can help boost you even further. And now here we are 4 years later.
All right. Now, I noticed that because you're doing a lot of different things, but when it comes to real estate, you say luxury real estate redefined, right? So what does that mean to have luxury real estate redefined to do things in a different way? I'm guessing. Go ahead.
It's luxury real estate redefined in a sense where it is a complete hand-holding concierge treatment. We are here from A to Z. You need a plumber. Because I do management as well. You need a plumber. We need to declutter. Some of my clients haven't seen their properties in years. And here we handle every single thing from A to Z. So it's a very different experience having that extreme help on by your side. It's not that I tell you that the house needs to be clean. No, I'm actually here scheduling the cleaning for you. And I'm here to make sure they do a good job. And then I'll let you know when the payment's due. It's the walkthrough. It's the decluttering. It's bringing in the junk removal. It's truly, truly, truly doing every single thing possible for the client. They need reservations to a restaurant. They want to get to a country club. Their kid needs to go to country day. Everything that they need, I am here to support. I want my clients to know I'm a call away with whatever it is, whether it's tickets to a concert, whether it's access to a club in New York, whether it's whatever. So it's a whole different real estate experience. It's not just real estate. It's really a lifestyle. I'm here to be your lifestyle and real estate concierge connect.
Now, so I know you once again. I continue to tell people, hey, I really know her, right? And so here's why. Because you have this gift, this skill where you get to meld your hobbies and business together. Right. And I know that whether it's using your marketing background and you just love being a marketing person, but then also when it comes to entertaining, whether it's boats and beaches and restaurants and spas and gyms, how are you using all of Banna, who she is, where we could catch her in a normal day to bolster your business as well?
It's all about selling Miami and the lifestyle. And if you don't live the lifestyle, how can you truly sell it, right? How can you truly show the world what Miami can do for you? If you want to be the beach, If you want to live on the beach, what does that look like? Where are you going to go have breakfast, lunch, dinner? What beach clubs are you going to be part of? The One Hotel, Soho House, Faina, Bath Club, Surfside. Which one are you really going to be part of? So I joined those beach clubs, and I leveraged those. I used to get 10% off at the hotel for Faina. I'm a member at the Moore, so whenever the clients want to check out Design District, I send them their way. For example, New Year's, what do I do for New Year's? I was able to easily help them with all these things. And then most importantly, I stay top of mind. That's really what I'm here to do, is to stay top of mind. So me helping my clients, friends, colleagues is more essentially a marketing tactic where I stay top of mind. I want them to think of Banna always, forever, every day of their lives. Banna, Banna, Banna. Because when it's time to buy, sell, rent, refer, they're going to think of Banna. Hopefully.
Okay. 13 years in, you are a seasoned veteran. You're like, whoa, wow, hold on. You are a seasoned veteran. You're an OG in this thing, still repping for the young folks. If you knew then, we're going to say, if you knew 10 years ago what you know now, what do you tell Banna, who's in 3 years in the industry?
Put aside 30% for taxes.
Hold
Boom.
on. Banna went straight to the listen, man, girl, get your money right because they coming.
No one talks about it enough. Everyone talks about, nobody talks about taxes enough. It's such a big deal. I would say put aside 30% for taxes. I will also say buy a property as soon as you can. Better than saving 6 digits in your bank account. Better than getting a website. Website's important too. But better than anything, see how fast you can buy a property. Because 10 years ago, I would have been able to buy all of these properties for cents on the dollar at 5% interest rates. And so, I did end up buying a property a couple years ago and I sold it, but I would have had a rental portfolio now sitting. Save 30% on taxes and focus on home ownership as soon as possible.
Good stuff. All right. So now because I'm nosy, I haven't dived into a lot of your personal stuff. So I'm not going to because we're friends, ladies and gentlemen. I'm friends. I really know Banna. What's next? What have you yet to accomplish? What's on your radar that's going to be achieved? Because I know you don't accomplish things, you achieve them. What's next on Banna's radar?
Well, now selling so much new developments. Last year, pre-construction projects. I actually joined a new development project now. I'm currently in-house now for a developer selling Village at Coral Gables and Alhambra Park in Coral Gables. So the goal is to sell out quick as possible those two projects, which I've done a great job so far, starting since November. And the future, what does the future hold? Eventually, I think it'd be really nice to start developing on my own somehow. I think that I could see myself either single family homes, developing one or two a year projects here and there, getting involved in a new development from start to finish on a marketing sales front, things like that. I would like to see myself in the deeper level of developments would be nice. And I have some goals. I have some big goals in terms of sales volume, of course. So it's in the I have it written down here as my manifestation. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 10 digits, the goal of
Hey,
sales
now,
volume every year.
ladies and gentlemen, don't y'all be knocking on Banna's door talking about let me hold something. Nope. Y'all don't do it. She's putting money aside for the taxes.
So,
She's got other goals she's doing, and then she's got to make sure that she's purchasing property. So she ain't got nothing to let y'all borrow, just so we clear. We
I
ain't
got
giving out
nothing.
loan.
I ain't got nothing.
She like, so Banna, let me hold $1. I ain't got it. I ain't got it.
T-Rex hands.
See, come on, stop the madness. So now I was going through scrolling through your social media, and maybe a couple of years ago, you said you're going to stop asking how long will this take and start asking how far can I go? And I absolutely love that. And so I want to ask the question that maybe either your admirers or your haters are asking. And that question is, how far can Banna go?
We'll soon find out. We'll soon find out how far I can go. The reason why I put that quote was because I remember when I first started real estate, even like maybe 5, 6 years ago, you're like, all right, 10 years. 10 years I'm in, my goal was X amount, then what? right? And then when you start thinking like that, you put a cap on things, a limit on things. So I truly changed the mindset of being from a financial to a service. So now I'm in the service mindset, and I'm also in this growth mindset, and most importantly, limitless. I truly feel I am limitless at this point. I feel like I got through all the obstacles in the last 15 years. So now it's just limitless. And so for how far can I go? Every year it gets better and better. You know, every year I double down, every year more opportunities, every year the accolades, the awards. So how far can I go? I mean, I think the new developments will be a great spot. I think the more travels, I would love a significant sale, like a historic significant sale. I would
Think
like
you've had
some,
one yet?
yes, but I want like a truly, truly record breaking New York Times can't stop this. Like I'm looking for something like that. Something big would be really nice soon. And it's inevitable. It's coming.
The pinnacle unit. You want that unit. You want that island. You want you want one where everyone in I'm going to say the world, not just the country, but the world, Craig, where they're saying, man, Banna now holds the record. She set this thing here. And we're not only talking Miami, we're talking about anywhere.
Right. I have now gone globally. First it was Miami, then it became Florida. So now I have contacts all over Florida. And then it was the States, which I'm doing really well at that. And now it's time to be on a global front, to be a global leader. I currently hold I gotta get humble here, but I currently hold the highest condo resale in Brickell right now. So that's exciting, but something bigger, right? Something bigger than
Now
that.
hold on. Now you're gonna drop that and see. Not everyone knows where Brickell is, and they don't know how much it. So do you want to share that price, or we don't want to do that?
Yeah, it's at 6.4. It came out too. It's a very cool two-story duplex at the upper penthouse in Brickell City Center, the extraordinary mall here in Brickell, and it has two pools. It has like a pool and a jacuzzi, 2 stories. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a one of a kind a condo in the heart of Brickell. No one above you. There's nothing else like it in Brickell at the moment. New construction probably won't even do something like that. Right? It won't come something comparable like that anyway. So it's a very special condo to a very special buyer, and I currently hold that record. So that's something nice that I could add to my resume.
How long did you enjoy that? You probably enjoyed it for like 30 seconds and then we're like, okay, on to the next, looking for my next big record, right?
I know, I know. Why are we like that? I'm like, okay, done. I'm like, all right, next, and then you know what? Then the next year I had some other big sales in another pre-construction building. So that's why every year there's more and more. Just there's just so much opportunity in South Florida right now in every kind of way between new development, short-term rental, single family. There's just so many ways to make money and to grow in South Florida. And right now we're on that wave right now. I've been talking about the future of Miami for so long, and the moment is finally here. So now we need to ride that wave until so we can't no more. So we gotta be.
All right, good stuff. So now we get to have some fun. I get to ask you the questions I have not alerted you to. Just rapid fire questions. Listen, what did it say? We answer, we listen, and we don't judge. That's what this is right now. No, come on, we friends. Hey y'all, I really know Banna. So we're gonna keep this light. All right. Are you ready, ma'am?
Let's do this.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite food?
Italian. Asian Italian. Yeah.
No, girl, you got to give me a dish.
I love spaghetti and stone crabs.
Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny?
And Mickey Mouse.
This one, you don't have to answer. A nickname that only your family calls you.
They call me B. B.
Okay.
Yeah. Banna, like what do you do with Banna?
I don't know. That's why I always let the guests know. You don't have to answer this one. The last thing I need is for you to show up at that marketing consultation for a $14 million property and someone calls you by the nickname that only your family calls you, and it gets kind of awkward. All right. One talent that you don't have that you wish you did.
I like to be invisible.
You want a superpower. So you're way outside of the normal answer. So you don't care about singing, dancing, playing an instrument.
I was gonna say maybe singing, right? I don't know.
No. Scratch my idea. I'm talking to Banna, the record setter, so we're going to go ahead and be invisible. Let's go. All righty. One thing that you can't live without.
I think my curling iron.
For real? You understand why I respond that way, right? You see what's happening.
Listen, and we don't judge.
Oh, yeah. We listen and we don't judge. All right. Hey, thank you for reminding me. Favorite movie?
I don't really have one.
Okay, fair enough. Favorite book?
A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. So good.
I like that one. So good.
Good. That changed my life, honestly. I read that like in 2019, 2020.
Okay, I love that one. And then finally, this is the one that also you don't have to answer. Finish this statement. People would be surprised to find out that I blank.
People would be surprised that I eat like a man.
Could you please elaborate on that, ma'am?
I could really eat like a man. Like my appetite, I hate it. I got to control it, but I could eat portions on portions. I mean, it's like scary.
Portions of spaghetti and crab and just
You
madness.
name it. You name it. Like I love Cuban food. I will right now like eat ropa vieja, vaca frita, moro, maduro, tosto. I'll eat it all. It's disgusting.
Man, so ladies and gentlemen, when you see Banna out and you see the portion size, the small portion size, because she's respectful in the restaurants, just know she's going home and she's going to kill it inside of her safe space because we listen and we don't judge. Banna, this has been an absolute treat. I want to thank you for taking time out, sharing with my audience. I'm looking forward to seeing what not only the upcoming weeks, months, and years hold for you, but I know that the story of Banna Fakhoury is going to be one that many people are speaking and talking about and retelling for years to come. That's my belief, where they say, look at this first generation immigrant here in the U.S. Look at what she has done. Look at the legacy she leaves. And I'm excited to be next to you. So I can't thank you enough. And then is there anything that you want to leave with the listeners?
Leave with the listeners. I would say is to trust in God and be limitless.
Man, that's good stuff. That's a perfect segue because here's what I'm going to do as I always do. I'm going to relieve you like this, that I love you, God loves you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And until the next time I see you or you see me, don't be average, be world renowned. Peace.
Oh, I like that. Thank you for having me on. This was amazing.
It was good.